this is how to get through heartbreak as somebody a month out from one and also experienced 5 or 6 in my life. And let me just say, they don't necessarily get easier the more you have. You just learn how to handle them better. The past starts to serve as a lighthouse in the way that all the thoughts and feelings that I've had now, I've had before, the same way that all the feelings and thoughts that you have now, you'll most likely have again in any other heartbreak that you have. But because of that, it gives you hope in knowing that you're gonna get through it, and you also just know what to expect and what works. But when you're in your first few heartbreaks, you don't really have that inner guidance. So I am here for you. Because listen, I've been there where I had no appetite, I didn't eat, I didn't get out of bed, I had life-ending thoughts, and if I could go back and tell myself any of the things that I know now, it would be what's in this video. So I wrote this list this morning and it's kind of in order, but if you start doing any of these things, you're most likely going to end up doing all because they kind of unfold into each other. The first thing is go no contact. If your goal is to get them back or you want an apology, you have to give them space with your absence to miss you. If your goal is to heal and move on, go no contact. If you need to figure out what you want, no contact. Even if you wronged them, you still need to go no contact because you both need clarity and you need to emotionally regulate. And if there's things that you feel that you really need to say, write them out in your phone, journal them, go on a drive and talk to yourself out loud. And by the end of it, you'll feel so much relief and you won't feel the need to have to speak to them. But continuing to go back and forth with this person just prolongs the breakup and makes it so much harder to figure out what you want. And stop worrying about what they're doing or what they're thinking with that space. You need to focus on what you're doing and what you're thinking with that space. Because a month from now, where are you gonna be if all you've done is obsess over them? Probably backwards. Number 2 is stop triggering yourself and stop reliving trauma. Stop listening to sad music, stop watching sad movies, and stop watching sad freaking TikToks. And stop wearing their clothes. Either give it back to them, throw them away, or put them in the trunk of your car. And I know you don't want to forget y'all's memories, so write them down in a journal and then stop replaying them in your head. This goes for good memories, if they wronged you, how they wronged you, or playing scenarios in your head of what they might be doing or thinking. Because what you don't realize is your body don't know the difference between a made-up scenario and something that you're actually experiencing, and that's why you always emotionally react when you have these thoughts. Find what works for you, some sort of positive self-talk to redirect those thoughts. Because you don't want to train yourself to keeping them in the back of your mind, which leads me to my next point. As much as I agree that you should go to the gym and work on yourself, do not do it with the motive of getting your lick back, because all you're doing is, again, training yourself to keep them in the back of your mind. In my second heartbreak, I was the most consistent I'd ever been in the gym. I was eating right. I was reading all the self-improvement books. I was always out in nature. But at the end of the night, when I came home, I was the most depressed I'd ever been. And it led me to having life-ending thoughts because everything that I was doing revolved around either proving something to that person, making them regret their choices, or trying to get their attention. I was putting so much energy into this person and getting nothing back, so it left me completely unsatisfied. And when you're doing this, they don't feel your absence because you're still there energetically. And included in this is social media. Stop posting on social media after a breakup. It is so obvious to not only them, but to literally everybody that knows you're in a breakup what you're doing. When you're posting to make it look like you don't care and you're living your best life, it completely shows the opposite of that because you have to prove it. Or if you're doing it to try to get yourself back out there, that's a terrible idea because 1, you're not ready and you're either trying to get over them, or you're trying to make them jealous, or you're trying to distract yourself, and all those things are just gonna make you feel worse. And that other person doesn't deserve that because 9 times out of 10, you're leaving that imprint on that person. Instead, romanticize your life. Every shower, every meal, every breath, be present and fall in love with stability. Appreciate the love that y'all shared, but also the peace that comes with not having to deal with that person's inconsistencies. In my most recent relationship, I was traveling a lot to support this guy's career while he was so untrustworthy, didn't respect or value me, and I was begging for the bare minimum. And now it feels so good to be grounded and stable and not have to be in a constant state of anxiety. Whereas I could be sitting around wondering how he could be that way towards me, or why didn't he do this, or I didn't deserve that. It's a choice in how you look at it. Fall in love with your life. Clean your apartment, your bedroom, your house, whatever it is. Take a bath or a shower, read a book, do those things, and it'll trickle into every part of your day. And remember those feelings when you don't feel like getting out of bed. Use that to motivate you instead of the pain from that relationship. Now the next thing is to forgive them. And if there's anything that you feel guilty for, forgive yourself. But you have to see their humanness and understand that they have their own issues, their own karma and purpose and lessons here. It'll start to separate you from the circumstances and prevent you from taking it too personal. And sometimes people do things knowing that it'll hurt you, but it wasn't a vendetta against you. It was just that they have their own issues. And let me interject and say that this doesn't go for everything wrong in the relationship. There are definitely things that I know you can take accountability for. So look at the relationship honestly and find things that you can improve on. Don't force yourself into anger or use this as a reason to hate them. You're only gonna find peace by seeing them with love. And you can look up on YouTube forgiveness meditation and follow that. But really what helps me is kind of seeing them as a distant friend and understanding yeah, you did wrong, but this breakup is your lesson. And also so is yours, because there's something that both of you can take away from it. But forgiving them doesn't mean to understand and then take them back and drop your boundaries. No, it's a forgive but not forget kind of thing. Which brings me to my next point of, if this breakup is over a reoccurring issue, do not fall for the love bombing. These people will profusely apologize. They're going to try to get you the flowers or do the things that you asked them to do and promise change as a last attempt to get you back. But one, this shows that they could have been doing this all along but just chose not to. Two, they're a lazy lover and will almost always revert back within a couple weeks. And three, didn't take you serious enough when you said you were going to leave over this. Stand on business, girl. Now, I wrote this today, and I'm sure I'll think of more things to make a part 2. But something I want to add to the end is make sure that you're feeling your feelings and you're not just pushing them down and sitting on your phone for hours trying to distract yourself. Because over a long period of time of bottling things up, your body is going to start to react to try to get your attention. Cry, scream in your car, throw your pillow against your bed. Release these feelings, girl. Release the feelings, or boy. And just know that heartbreak is arguably the most painful thing that you can experience outside of actual loss. But it is a form of loss and you are grieving. And also know that depending on how you broke up, whether it was a betrayal, a blindside, inconsistencies, incompatibility, etc., kind of determines how you're going to handle it initially, because some of those are just hard impact and some of them you saw coming. I'm sending love, I'm sending light. And comment things below on how you're handling it, what helps you, or if you need anything, help each other out in the comments, and I'm gonna be reading them too. I kind of feel shy now, but yeah.